Hi and welcome to the second part of this lesson. So hopefully in the first part of the lesson you've started to think about the environment, you've started to learn a little bit about greenhouse gases, what they are and why businesses might want to reduce their greenhouse gases, what the benefits and the drawbacks to them are. Now, I'm going to give you a case study of a real-life business with 3 exam questions to go with it. The business that we are going to be talking about in the case study is a business called Unilever. Now, they're a really large international company and they do lots and lots of different brands, lots of household items, for example, Persil and Comfort washing powder. They produce Ben & Jerry's ice cream. They are responsible for the Tony and Guy brand. So remember the hairdressing salon that we looked at in one of your previous exam questions, they also own that brand. But even if you don't know any of that and you don't know anything about Unilever, all the information and all the clues that you need are in the case study. So here it is. Unilever make a range of products including toiletries, washing powders and food. It intends to halve the amount of greenhouse gases it creates by 2030. For example, they have created compressed deodorant cans that use 50% less gas and 25% less aluminium in the packaging. And there is a picture of Lynx deodorant, as Lynx is one of their deodorant brands. So looking at the case study, I know that Unilever make quite a wide range of products. So from that I can assume they're quite a big company. I know that the company must be interested in the environment because they're actively thinking about reducing their greenhouse gases and they want to halve them by 2030. I also know that they're quite serious about the impact they're having on the environment because they've invested money to create new packaging for one of their existing products. And in their Lynx deodorant can packaging, they're using 50% less gas and 25% less aluminium metal to be able to make that packaging. So everything I need is there within that case study. Let's have a look at the questions. Question 1, we're being asked to analyse one benefit of Unilever reducing their greenhouse gas emissions. So for this question, we need to come up with a benefit of being environmentally friendly for a business, and then we need to apply it specifically to Unilever and then reducing their greenhouse gas emissions. If we do that, we will get 2 marks. The next question is exactly the same. Apart from this time, we are going to analyse one drawback of Unilever reducing their greenhouse gas emissions. So this time I need to think of a disadvantage. What's not so good about a business working hard to be more environmentally friendly, and specifically in this case for Unilever to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions? Our final question is our 6th marker. This is asking us to use both parts of the previous answers, so looking at those benefits and drawbacks, and then recommend whether Unilever should continue to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. Now it might seem a lot of work to do when you first look at that, but I'm going to give you some help and I'm going to break it down with you. So I'm going to look specifically at question 1. Question 1 asks me to analyse one benefit of Unilever reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Now you might have 2 or 3 benefits in your head that you can think of, but you will only get marks for talking about one of them. You'll get 1 mark for providing a benefit of being environmentally friendly, and you get another mark if you use some of the data from the case study to apply it to Unilever. Okay? So, here is an example of how you could answer it. There's more than one way to answer it, but this is one example of how to get both marks. So, in my answer, I wrote, one benefit of Unilever creating less greenhouse gas emissions is they can use this when marketing their products. That will get me 1 mark. That is me showing knowledge that being environmentally friendly for a business can help them with marketing. To get the 2nd mark, I used the data in the case study and I applied it to Unilever. In the case study, it was talking about several of their products, but in particular it was talking about their deodorants. And just in case you didn't quite get it from the case study, from the writing, there is a picture of a can of Lynx deodorant in the case study. That is the examiners encouraging you to talk about the deodorants, the reduction in the packaging, the changes to the amount of gas that they've used in order to be more environmentally friendly. So you need to pick up on that hint and you need to talk about deodorant cans in the next part of your answer. So this is what I did. I said, they can advertise their Lynx deodorant as 50% less harmful to the environment, which will encourage young people who care about the environment to choose their product instead of other deodorants. In that part of the answer, I've applied it because I've said that they're using 50% less gas, so that's going to be 50% less harmful to the environment. I just picked that from the case study. I also then thought about, what does marketing mean? Who are they marketing Lynx at? And we know that Lynx deodorant is a product that's primarily bought by young people, by teenagers, young adults. I have said, I've linked together my knowledge and my data, and I've said that marketing Lynx to young people who care about the environment might help them choose Lynx rather than one of the other deodorant brands. So I'm wrapping it all up as to why Unilever would do that. What is the benefit to Unilever? Okay. You're going to use exactly the same method, the same format to answer question 2. So you're going to need to come up with a disadvantage of being more environmentally friendly to Unilever. And you're going to need to use some evidence from the case study to back up your piece of knowledge, and you need to say why it's a disadvantage to them. When it comes to answering question 3, it's asking you to recommend either for or against reducing those greenhouse gases. When you start that question, you need to kind of rewrite your answers to questions 1 and 2 as part of this question. You need to analyse both the benefits and the drawbacks. You need to apply the benefit and the drawback to Unilever. And you need to say whether Unilever should continue to reduce greenhouse gas emissions or not. Whichever you choose is fine. You don't get marks for choosing one over the other, but you will get the additional marks for thoroughly evaluating your decision. So you need to say specifically why it will help Unilever to go with your choice. Okay. There are the 3 questions. I've done the first one for you. Use my example, rewind the video if you need to, read through that case study again and have a go at answering the 2nd and the 3rd question. Send that to your teachers in the usual way. We look forward to receiving it and giving you your feedback. Thanks for listening.